Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. Now you've seen what Tai Chi is all about. And so now I have questions that I want to ask Jim. I watched him as he demonstrated that, and I've also participated in his class. So I'm very impressed with his movements and the effects of those movements and everything else that you do. So again, Jim, I just want to thank you. And I think our audience, in seeing exactly what the movements are all about, are probably going to be beating down your door to come in and join your class. Okay. But let me ask you several questions.
Certainly.
First of all, how did you get into martial arts in general and Tai Chi in particular?
Well, when I was 12 years old, riding a bike back from a baseball game, I got hit head-on by a drunk driver.
Whoa. Okay.
My kneecap was pulverized, my thigh bone snapped out, and didn't know whether I was going to make it. Obviously I did. And I was told I'd be a cripple the rest of my life. So I didn't like that. Okay. And when I went to college, I got involved in swimming, and I started with judo. And after a few months of judo, I found that with my so-called bad leg, I could knock a 190-pound guy off his feet. And I got hooked on the martial arts because they changed my life, and they also taught me a lot about when people have a belief system, it's not necessarily what's real. Okay. That you have to be able to understand each one of us has an incredible ability to grow and change in many, many ways. And most of us let that lie dormant. And sometimes it takes a terrible accident to awaken us to the fact that we're capable of so much more than we normally do.
Okay. Now, you know, most of us, when we think about judo or karate or even Tai Chi, we're thinking about Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris. Do you know these individuals?
No, but this is Tai Chi. There's two distinction. Tai Chi is a philosophical principle, basically the concept of two forces, not necessarily one's good and one's bad, but two forces that mutually create each other. Okay. And Tai Chi Chuan, Chuan means fist, and that makes it a martial art. Okay. In my 30s, I went around sort of challenging a few people who advertised Tai Chi Chuan but didn't know how to fight. If you're teaching Tai Chi Chuan, you should know how to use it as a martial art because it's a very effective one. What a lot of people are teaching now is Tai Chi. They're teaching it for health and exercise. Okay. That's okay. But the main reason for the martial arts thing is that what makes a good fighter has to be healthy. So the movements, the exercises, and the mental conditioning that goes into being a good fighter translates into being a healthy person in general. Just because you're healthy and strong and flexible, you don't have to fight unless you want to. But you can use that energy to go about your day in a much more efficient way.
So can anybody do Tai Chi?
Yes, it's... There are a lot of people who start in their older years because you can do it at many different levels. When you're young, you do it in the horse stance and you're very low and aggressive. And then as you get older, you gradually stand a little taller. But it's okay because you're working with flexibility. There are over 1,000 probably documented medical studies from China about the efficacy of Tai Chi with balance issues, arthritis, circulatory problems, lung problems, COPD, all kinds of health issues because it's a whole body exercise. You work all your bones and joints and all your internal organs in the process of it.
Those are some great benefits. What is Qigong and how does it relate to Tai Chi?
Well, I've been teaching Tai Chi for over 30 years. I teach a style called Wu style that I learned I started Tai Chi in '68, then Wu style in '71. So I've been doing it for a while. One of these days I'll be good. And so what I found is that to learn the form, it's 108 movements. It takes about a year and a half to learn the whole form. A lot of folks don't have the patience for that or the self-discipline or can't arrange their lives in a way to do that. So I've begun teaching Qigong, which is another branch of the Chinese internal systems.
Okay.
And Qi means energy, Gong means working with. And it's the basic format is called the 8 pieces of silk. That's what I do at the end of what people saw, the beginning, a couple beginning moves. There are 8 movements. They're done slowly. They're coordinated with deep abdominal breathing. And you do them every morning. It takes 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how many reps you do of them. And it helps work with everything, that your joints, your circulatory system, your lungs. And it's a little different than Western exercise. You don't want to get out there and, oh yeah, I pumped out 50 reps today. You don't want to do that with this stuff. This stuff you want to do, like some basic elements of both Tai Chi and Qigong are, you want to do it slow,
Okay.
smooth, centered, coordinated. You want it part of what, there are multiple levels for the Qigong. The first level is learning the biomechanics of it. Where do my arms go? Where do my legs go? And what am I supposed to be doing? The second is hooking that up with the breathing. So that, for example, if I'm doing something where I reach my arm out and I bring my arm back, I maybe want to do it so I...
Okay.
and get the breath coordinated with the movement of the body. Then there are also, in many of these, you do things with your eyes, because the Chinese were way ahead of their time with eye exercises in them. When I was a kid, a long time ago, I had 2200 and 2400 vision. I was legally blind.
Oh, gee.
And in my 30s, I learned a Bates method of eye exercise for doing exercises, because the eye is another muscle. And what happens is in our culture, because it's so dependent on external things, we get glasses. Well, once you get glasses, you're hooked for life. It's like, here, kid, the first pair is free. And then you wear them the rest of your life.
Oh.
But if you exercise the muscle, I got rid of my glasses. I can drive without glasses. My vision's about 20/30 or so, from doing exercises.
Okay.
So the Qigong, I include that with it as well.
Oh, this is fantastic. Now, I would recommend you as a teacher, since I've been in your class. But what do these different titles mean? Sifu Master, et cetera, and what are the rankings in Tai Chi?
Okay, well, that's one of the difficulties in Western culture. We like to label things. The father of modern semantics, Albert Korzybski, is famous for saying, the map is not the territory it represents. And that goes for words. Words are labels that we use. It doesn't mean it's true. That's why I shy away from master, because I don't consider myself a master.
Okay.
But a lot of people use those titles to get students in, and because they're doing it, to make money. That happens with everything. Sifu is a Chinese term of great respect, which means second father, because your martial arts teacher was like your second father. You spent a huge amount of time with him. He taught you things about not only how to be a healthier person, how to be a stronger person, how to fight, but how to be a better person.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, you've talked about this, we've seen the demonstration, and I have to ask the big question now, and many people are thinking this, how much does this cost?
Okay. Well, the first one is free. No. No. I teach at 2 places in town. I teach at the Nye Communities Coalition currently, and the classes there are free.
Okay.
Now, currently, I'm just about up to capacity with the classes, because once people have started, it's kind of hard to bring in new people, but I try and do that. And what I would suggest for those classes is to call the coalition and ask Diana to put your name on the waiting list for the free classes. Leave your name, phone number, email, so we can get back to you. And I'm trying to include more classes there.
Okay.
The other alternative is I teach at Custom Health and Fitness. It's on Highway 160 on the way to Vegas on the right side. It's a great gym with wonderful modern facilities and lots of equipment and a weight room. And the big attraction in the room I teach the movement things in is a wall full of mirrors, because mirrors help you understand what your body is doing better, because most of us don't have a great idea of what we look. Do I look like that? Oh no, I don't look like that. So the classes there are free if you're a gym member, and if you have, I believe it's a Silver Slippers card, or you belong to Humana, something like that, they're free. If you drop in, they're just $5 a class that goes to the gym, or you can purchase, I think, 12 for $50 or something.
Okay. Now, you also say you're old school. What does that mean?
Okay. Old school means that there's a lot of what we used to call yin tai chi. It's all very gentle and flowing and all spiritual. I got nothing against gentle, flowing spiritual stuff. But it's also a martial art. And if you don't know how to make a fist properly and you actually hit somebody, you'll hurt yourself more than you'll hurt the person.
Okay.
Old school means I learned in the late 60s, early 70s, when the teachers either didn't speak English or would pretend they didn't. They would go, you would have to meet them at a park at 5 in the morning, and they would do the form, and you couldn't ask questions, and they wouldn't repeat movements for you, so you had to be quick. You had to be sharp. In addition, we would do what's called hugging a tree, or the universal post. It's a standing exercise where you hold your arms out. And one teacher's version, the universal post, we had to stand on one foot with the other foot out for balance.
Gotcha.
We had to do that for an hour before we worked out.
Oh,
So,
Jim, we're out of time, but I did want to say I really want to thank you for being here. And I think our audience is also going to thank you, because they've gotten a lot of good information. They've seen the form. They know where you teach. And I hope you wrote that down and the phone numbers so you can get involved and do something with Tai Chi to help you have better health. And again, thank you for being here.
thanks, Tom.
And we'll look for you in the next show. Thank you.